I-Team Investigation Tuesday at 10. This is ABC 7 News at 10.
Relatives of 3 missing family members hand out flyers tonight in hopes of solving a mystery. A mother and her 2 adult children disappeared while delivering newspapers. Good evening. That family is known for being reliable.
Well, the newspaper route has been in the family for more than 20 years. Karen, Tracy, and Thomas Buckle were last seen in Joliet early Sunday morning. They finished all but the last block on their route at the time.
Diane, police say they're taking this case very seriously, and they have several leads tonight. ABC 7's Cheryl Burton has the latest on the investigation live from Joliet. Cheryl?
Well, John, Joliet police say they're investigating the mysterious disappearance of 3 members of the Bacco family very seriously, calling the case suspicious. And as the hours pass, this missing persons report will become a criminal investigation. Now, according to Karen Bacco's family, she left home Sunday morning with her driver's license, a cell phone, a pager, and only $20 in her pocket because, like her family has done every day for the past 23 years, she intended to be home by sunrise. Tonight, relatives of the Bacco family passed out flyers in hopes that someone may have seen Karen, her son Thomas, and daughter Tracy. They have been missing since early yesterday morning. Karen's oldest son, Wayne, has been visited by friends and family all evening. He says when his mother, brother, and sister left yesterday morning, he locked the door behind them and said, "I'll see you in the morning."
I'm really bad, I know I shouldn't, but I'm trying to be realistic because it's been so long. And nobody's found her, seen her.
The trio was last seen Sunday morning when they left home in their van at 2 a.m. According to Joliet investigators, shortly after that, they arrived here at the distribution center for the Joliet Herald newspaper to pick up some papers and head out on their route, and they haven't been seen since.
I could not believe it. I mean, Karen's not the type of person to just take off and just leave. She always calls, checks in to see if there's a call coming in for her or something. So something is definitely wrong here.
Police say the paper route was almost complete except for one house on Stone Street and the entire block on Marble. Around 8:30, the Joliet Herald started receiving calls about customers not receiving their papers. Police have been circulating flyers around the neighborhood and along the paper route. Investigators say their white 1989 Dodge van with license plate Bina 8 was spotted involved in a car accident around 4 a.m. Sunday. That car accident was not reported. However, witnesses have told Joliet police they saw that white van twice on Interstate 80 and in West Joliet. An aerial search was conducted of a wooded area where abandoned cars are found often, and along the river's edge looking for tire tracks, but both searches turned up nothing. Investigators here in Joliet say they're planning to release some new information tomorrow. Reporting live from the Joliet Police Department, Cheryl Burton, ABC 7 News. Diane and John, back to you.
Cheryl, thank you. Well, gunfire erupts on the south side, and a CTA bus is caught in the crossfire. The bus was packed with passengers at the time. It happened outside a funeral home. An off-duty police officer apparently identified himself to suspected gang members who were attending a funeral there. When they flashed gang signs, police say that gunfire started. Several bullets hit the CTA bus passing by. Nobody in the bus was hurt. So far, no arrests tonight. Investigators are focusing on a layer of ice as a possible cause of that deadly crash involving a van that belonged to the Salvation Army. The coroner held an inquest today. A state police expert said right after the crash, he noted a lot of black ice on Interstate 55. Relatives of many of the victims were at that inquest. 11 people were killed when the driver lost control and hit a semi. Experts used accounts by the witnesses to determine that the van was traveling at 45 to 50 miles an hour. The victims' families are suing the Salvation Army, charging that the van driver was going too fast. The jury seated by the coroner did not determine the cause or blame anyone in particular. Those matters have to be determined by the courts.
Diane, it looks like commuters paid attention to all those warnings about the work on Wacker Drive. Some delays during the morning and evening rush, but no big bottlenecks as many drivers avoided the construction area. Police say that one reason things went smoothly was because of tough enforcement of parking restrictions. That meant a lot of tickets and a lot of towing.
Well, the Justice Department is sending 25 observers to Cicero to monitor the primary election there tomorrow. The observers are watching to make sure Hispanic voters are treated fairly. A court order authorizes federal officials to monitor elections in Cicero for the next 5 years. Primary elections are also tomorrow in a number of other suburbs. And from the 17th and 37th wards in Chicago vote for New Orleans in special elections. Election night coverage right here on ABC 7 tomorrow night at 10.
Briefly, other stories we're following. Firefighters are investigating a deadly fire in southwest suburban Lamont tonight. Police have not yet identified the man who died in fire on Marion Street. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Francis Cardinal George is speaking out against Timothy McVeigh's execution. The convicted Oklahoma City bomber is scheduled to die May the 16th. Today, in Evansville, Indiana, Cardinal George said the death penalty is not the answer. And Governor Ryan says the Bush administration has promised to move forward with a review of the proposal to build an airport in Beatone. The plan is to build an airport with 12 gates and 1 runway.
Also ahead tonight, protesters try to stop a deer kill set to get underway tomorrow in the north suburbs. We're live with an issue that is dividing the community. That's amazing that that person isn't me.
The special segment tonight, Windows Within. New technology gives new parents the most detailed images yet of the baby in the womb. And Tom Hanks, visiting Chicago tonight, singled out by local film critics. Roger Ebert has the story for us tonight.
ABC 7 News at 10 continues with Diane Burns, John Drury, weather with meteorologist Jerry Taft, and sports with Martine Greco.
Tonight, protesters try to stop a deer kill in the north suburbs. The move is set to get underway as early as tomorrow. Well, last year, the city council in Highland Park voted to let sharpshooters kill up to 20 deer on public and private land. Supporters call it necessary because they say the deer population is out of hand. Opponents are calling it slaughter. ABC 7's
The courts have ruled against them so far, but those opposed to Highland Park's plan to try to control the deer population remain undaunted. They packed city council chambers tonight, hoping to convince the city to abandon its plan to have sharpshooters kill 20 deer.
I'm against killing or murdering the deer of Highland Park. I think that it is a cruel and harsh way to solve this problem.
Don't tell me how carefully snipers can shoot. Wounded animals can run. Those silences would be used. The sound of shooting would be heard. Children might view, might hear, and would know from their older brothers and sisters also what was happening in town. And that kind of arrogance has to go in our town.
Amateur photographers captured pictures of some of Highland Park's approximately 65 deer. The city council is divided on the issue of whether to kill some of them off, but Mayor Dan Pierce supports the plan, at one point telling an opponent he was free to move out of town if he didn't like it. According to the plan, the city would use bait to draw deer to specific spots, then sharpshooters perched above would fire at them. Some conservationists believe it's a necessary step,
ruining an entire ecosystem by just letting the deer go unchecked.
Well, the group of plaintiffs includes approximately 400. The group of opponents includes approximately 400 plaintiffs whose attorney will be in court tomorrow asking for a temporary restraining order. If the judge refuses, the city can indeed go ahead with its plans as early as tomorrow. Running live in Highland Park, John Garcia, ABC 7 News. John, back to you.
Thank you, John. Well, doctors are calling the recovery of a Canadian toddler found nearly frozen to death a miracle. The 13-month-old girl had wandered outside her Edmonton, Alberta home Friday night. It was 10 below zero. The child was discovered frozen stiff with no signs of life. It's not known how long she was outside. She was only wearing a diaper. Doctors say the child appears to have survived without brain damage, even though her heart stopped beating for 2 hours at one point. The main concern now is severe frostbite on her hands and feet.
Well, just ahead, it was warmer and sunny today, but Jerry says it's not so easy to say goodbye to winter. Also, the new technology gives doctors and pregnant women amazing images of babies growing inside.
Also, it may look blah now, but come June, this furniture may become as popular as cows on parade. And in sports, we're there as Sammy arrives at Cubs camp. Well,
nourished.
Tonight's special segment, Windows Within. Most expecting parents can't help but worry about the health of their baby. Now, new technology is helping ease those fears. Healthbeat reporter Sylvia Perez is here with pictures that are providing windows within. Sylvia?
John and Diane, imagine being able to peek in on your baby and see who he or she looks like. We're talking about something more than conventional ultrasound. They are clear and detailed images from the womb, showing everything from facial features to a baby's movements. Not only will this new technology provide a fun snapshot, it may help better diagnose problems.
It's pretty good at the skull. You can actually see it.
A typical scene after a typical ultrasound. These are pictures of the fetus created by sound waves. The images, which help document development, are only two-dimensional, so they appear flat. Doctors know what they are looking at, but parents are often hard-pressed to figure out where their baby is in the fuzzy photos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's the open mouth right there.
The open mouth.
Now comes this. It's the latest, and creators say greatest so far in ultrasound technology, moving three-dimensional images of the baby in a more realistic form. It's referred to as 4D. Watch closely. This is the baby's nose and mouth. Here, the hand wipes at the eye.
You're able to see the fetus looking as a portrait, as an actual baby.
This technology is more than just entertainment. It can be a powerful tool to help parents bond with their unborn baby. And more importantly, by viewing the baby in three dimensions, some doctors believe they can more accurately confirm problems. That's because whether the pictures are static or moving, 3D provides more detail, giving a clearer picture of defects such as cleft lip or spina bifida. The 4D test is performed the same way as a traditional ultrasound. The difference is in the scanning. A computer takes flat images and converts them into 3D, creating depth so you can view the fetus from different angles, this time in motion. Doctors say this high-tech test poses no additional risk to the fetus.
Get the nose right there.
Medicine America, a company based in California, gave us these examples of 4D ultrasound. But not all the images are guaranteed to look like sculpted art. Here's the scan we witnessed of a 30-week-old fetus. It's a little less clear, but you can see the face, the eyes, the nose, and lips.
Many parents are getting a reassurance from seeing that lifelike image on the screen.
That's amazing that person isn't me.
Until now, the pictures didn't move, but 3D ultrasounds have been around for a couple of years. Most doctors don't use it unless a problem is suspected. These parents-to-be are expecting a healthy baby, but demonstrated the device for us.
The images are much clearer, much more sophisticated.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a stunning view.
That's really good.
At Northwestern Memorial Hospital, Dr. Lieber Cohen is testing 3D ultrasound. He says it does come in handy when they suspect a baby is not developing correctly.
We can look at the size of the defect, and you can show the images to the parents so they can appreciate it. You can show it to the plastic surgeon. The plastic surgeon can say, look, I've had lots of cases like this. This is what surgeries will be needed. This is what the repairs will be.
Dr. Cohen is actually more excited about other uses for this technology. He says it can better detect uterine cancer and can also help in mapping the size and location of fibroid tumors.
You see, I can actually see the lips.
At Loyola University Medical Center, they have a much older version of the 3D ultrasound. But Dr. John Giannopoulos believes the newest 4D technology has a bright future.
With the real-time 3D, it will find uses as we move forward in vascular, cardiac, and probably even skeletal fetal abnormalities.
As amazing as this seems, Dr. Giannopoulos says parents can still feel confident that traditional ultrasounds are still very effective. Roseanne Pompey and her husband peered in on their 18-week-old fetus and were no less amazed with the traditional ultrasound, even though they had a little trouble deciphering some of the pictures. They're grateful the baby appears healthy and are further comforted knowing if a problem was suspected, 3D would be an option.
I would only go to the 3D because I feel I would not want to have an amniocentesis. I think that's just a little too invasive at that point. And so for people like me especially, I think it's quite a wonderful option, really.
And another reason doctors are are so excited about 3D ultrasounds is they may help determine if a defect can be corrected while the baby is still in the womb. Also, most insurance companies will pay for a 3D test if a problem is suspected. But if you just wanted to have one for the sake of getting a neat videotape and snapshot of your unborn baby, it may be tough to find a local facility able to do that just yet. Most hospitals do not have 3D capability, although it is expected to become more common over the next several years. But pretty amazing to see for right now, isn't it?
Sure is.
So you want to have another one now just to
I don't think so. Just checking.
Yeah, invite the neighbors over to see the
Sure.
video, right?
Watch the video.
Thanks, Sylvia. Coming up tomorrow night at 10, Chicagoans who believe they have the next big invention and the company that promised to help. The ABC7 investigative unit tracks down the people who turn American dreams into nightmares. A special segment, patent pending, tomorrow. Or when you walk down the streets in Chicago this summer, you might be tempted to rest your aching feet. The theme for the Art d'Objet for summer is Home Sweet Home Chicago, a twist to the blues suit. Well, this year, artists get to turn 500 pieces of blank fiberglass furniture into masterpieces. There are sofas, chairs, ottomans, even TV sets. They are to be attached to heavy concrete bases, though, so they don't disappear. They have been put to the test, anticipating the pounding by visitors sitting, standing, and jumping on them. The furniture is set to decorate the streets beginning June 1st.
Well, it passed the kid test, though. You gotta stick those kids on that.
The big old fella test that didn't
Yeah, right.
Well, we'll see, I'm sure.
Pretty nice day today. We got up to 40 degrees, some sunshine, a couple of flurries around, and we could actually see a light dusting of snow late tonight and tomorrow morning. We had a low this morning at 22, the high temperature today 40. Last year on this date, we set the record high at 66 degrees, so the 40 sounded pretty good, but last year the 66 sounds a little better. The wind northwest at 10 right now, the temperature 31, the wind chill 17. The humidity 75%, or mostly cloudy, 34 at the lake, 31 O'Hare, 33 Midway, 37 in Dyer, Indiana, 30 right now in Batavia. If we take a look, first of all, we started off with some sunshine earlier today. Most of the day, some light snow just to the north of us, but now we're starting to get a little bit into the area, although a lot of it is evaporating before it hits the ground. Some of the heavier snow is back to the west in Iowa. So, as I mentioned before, we could get a light dusting of snow. So we have this in the Midwest. We've got plenty of showers out west. It's raining in LA, some pretty heavy thunderstorms in East Texas and parts of Louisiana. But of course, this is what we're worried about. The heaviest snow now in the southern part of Iowa. Most of that will be passing to the south of us. And that's in association with this cold front. So colder air will be pushing in here over the next 24 to 48 hours. So we're not going to see 40 degrees tomorrow. Notice how the high pushes in. By afternoon, we could actually see some sunshine around here, and the high continues to push on Wednesday. So that suppresses this system down to the south. So it looks like no big storms over the next couple of days. High temperature tomorrow, 29 in Chicago, 63 in Phoenix, 58 in LA, 81 in Orlando, 45 in New York, but 29 here. So the forecast tonight, mostly cloudy. A little bit of light snow, just a dusting late tonight into tomorrow morning. Tonight slow down to 22, and then for tomorrow, a couple of flurries, and then partial clearing during the afternoon. We'll get some sunshine tomorrow with a high temperature of 29. 28, mostly sunny on Wednesday, partly cloudy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with temperatures in the 30s. So overall, not too bad this week, but not as warm as it was today.
But all sun. I like that.
A lot of suns.
Yes, no more hint of spring the rest of the week.
No.
That's too bad. Just ahead, tonight's Illinois lottery numbers.
Also coming up, a hometown favorite is just one of many big stars in Chicago for a big award ceremony tonight.
And I'm Mark Giangreco. Coming up in sports, Big Frank has his big meeting with Jerry Reinsdorf, and it sounds like everything's okay. Details next.
Sports on ABC 7. Brought to you by Singular Wireless.
Limited calls to other Singular customers in your home area 24/7 with no airtime charges. You'll also get a compact Nokia 8200 series phone for just $99. And that is pretty cool. Singular Wireless. What do you have to say?
Bellyache to the boss. First, in Mesa. Was sold into the clubhouse, handshakes all around. He said since he wasn't traded in the offseason, he expects to stay here for the long haul now. Pretty much, like I said to you before.
I'm here now. So I don't think I'm planning to go to anywhere. And probably, always say that I have a good feeling to stay here or, my career. Everything gonna be fine, I think. If you don't, hey, God bless America.
In Tucson, Frank met with Jerry Reinsdorf. Reports indicate a, quote, significant development, and the Sox fully expect Thomas to report to camp tomorrow, with Jerry Manuel talking with Frank again as well.
Tomorrow is the mandatory day for reporting, so, in some sense, I'm hoping that he shows tomorrow.
It'll be a relief for you to have this over and done with and have him in camp.
Oh, sure. I mean, you guys don't have anything else to write about? Get that out the way. Y'all make up some stuff, though.
Yes, we will. Bulls and Warriors, what are they good for? Absolutely nothing, except maybe a Norm Van Leer bobbin head doll. This one was ugly. Larry Hughes jumps out for the steal, taps it again. Isn't that a treble? Yeah, well, give it to him. Ron Artest, then, not only gets his lunch right here, they quickly foul out. Oh, my. Yeah, that flying slam. And UConn stuns the 12th-ranked Irish 75-59. SIU, Indiana State, desperation, full court heat to Jermaine Dearman with the catch in traffic, turns and banks it in for the game winner at the horn. Salukis with a thriller, 61-59. Back here, Girls City League Championship, Dorothy Gators and Marshall blew out Washington. Kathy Bontexter with the running finger roll. The Ice Woman. Lady Commandos win yet another title, 64-40. And they finished the race. Delay 400 at Rockingham today. It was only fitting that Steve Park, driving for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, held off Bobby Labonte, waving the number 3 cap as he ran out of gas on the victory lap, but he did get to take the victory plunge. I guess you call that your motorhead mosh pit right there. That's cool.
Exciting. Just ahead tonight, the surprise guest who showed up to get Tom Hanks a big award in Chicago tonight.
Navy Pier is usually highly illuminated, but tonight, star power made it extra spectacular. Chicago film critics presented their annual awards, and of course, ABC 7's Roger Ebert was there.
The Chicago Shakespeare Theater was packed with stargazers, all anticipating the celebrities this event always attracts. Sean Young and Fred Willard co-hosted. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon won 4 awards, including Best Foreign Film, Cinematography, and Score. Bonnie Hunt was presented with the Commitment to Chicago Award. Best Supporting Actor, Benicio del Toro, Traffic.
It's also recognition for the work I've done over the years. It's not because of alone this performance, I mean, as good as it might be for some people, or, it's great, but I think it's a recognition of a body of work.
Best Director, Steven Soderbergh, for Traffic. I picked Almost Famous as the best picture of the year, and the rest of the Best Supporting Actress. Patrick Puget, who played the young journalist in the film, was named Most Promising Actor. Best Actress, Ellen Burstyn, Requiem for a Dream, also nominated for an Oscar, and doesn't agree Julia Roberts will win.
Julia's wonderful. I've played her mother. I like her very much. She's a terrific actress. And, I wish her all the best. But I want to win.
Best Actor, Tom Hanks for Castaway. He just flew in from England for this event.
You already have 2 Oscars. Did you vote for yourself this time? I guess it would probably usually 3 out of the
Who were the other nominees?
Listed under your name.
If it's in alphabetical order, I'm just going to vote for number 3.
The hometown crowd is always thrilled by this Taste of Hollywood at the annual critics event, but it's just a warm-up for the Academy Awards. I'll be live from Los Angeles on March the 25th, and we find out if some of these winners are Oscar winners, too. I'm Roger Ebert, ABC 7 News.
Jerry won the secret quiz on the surprise.
It was Paul Newman.
good job.
Wow.
He doesn't miss anything.
Yes, he does. He's a very alert for a man his age. That's our report for tonight. Nightline is next here at Channel 7.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Closed captioning of this newscast is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana's favorite oil change.